And good morning. It's another great day here in Dubai. Actually, yesterday it was raining. I mean, there was a period of torrential rain right in the middle of summer, 40 plus degrees. Happens sometimes, but all is good today, and I'm looking forward to enjoying my time with the family. Um, okay, I'd like to give a bit of an update on a few of the investments that I have, but just to go on to the performance of small cap stocks versus large blue chip stocks. Now, I'm a small cap investor. I like investing in growth stories that are small and have the potential to increase significantly. It's exciting, it's rewarding, and I think many of us that watch this show and invest ourselves have a similar kind of approach. But it's also good to acknowledge more recently the continued great performance of some of the blue chips and what they now call the Magnificent Seven. Companies like Alphabet and Microsoft and Meta, Nvidia, etc. These have huge valuations. They've had tremendous performance over the last few years, but specifically this last 6 to 9 months. And many people will be thinking and look forwards, oh my God, they're overvalued, they have these high PE ratios, la la la. But I think two key characteristics I look at in these. One is they have moats. I'm sure you'll all have heard of this terminology, where it's difficult to replicate their business model, and they're very captive and the customers are very sticky. And the second one I would say is many of them have almost or close to monopolistic characteristics. That's a very specific term in economics. It has to do with economies of scale and some other factors, barriers to entry, etc. But with this combination, I really don't see a slowdown in their performance. And they'll continue to be great long-term growth stocks from my perspective. Nevertheless, the reason I'm mentioning this is to make today a little bit personal. Obviously, when you're investing in small stocks and you see sometimes those stocks crater or you see the market crater, it's normally the big blue chip stocks and indexes, they recover the quickest. And your small stocks are kind of left there, and it's almost as if it's regardless of performance. And sometimes where there's manipulation or somebody knows something. Effectively, it's laws of supply and demand. There's limited stock. There are a limited group of investors at early stage, and the fluctuations by buying and selling, even small amounts can cause price changes. So it's important to manage your psychology and your emotions. Easier said than done. You've all read the books, I guess, me too. But how do I do it? One thing is, I always, when making an investment, I'll have sort of an investment plan. I'll have an idea of, okay, why am I investing? Or what am I investing in? What's the current valuation? What is the expected valuation? What are the milestones and key data points like that? Then throughout the journey of being invested, you track the performance, you track the milestones, you track any deviations against your initial investment thesis, and you stay committed. You have a timeline, and you see it through. Now, during that period, when perhaps your small stocks are down and the market's just galloping, and it's perhaps it's envy, perhaps it's FOMO, whatever it is. But I think it's important to have all of those things in check and those time frames, etc., and also be realistic when things aren't going well or have not gone well. And finally, it's really important in my view to have a good network of trusted investors around you where you can discuss your investments on an ongoing basis, not too frequently, and that also causes problems. but to exchange information and, very important now, challenge each other. I think it's really important not to have echo chambers because you fall into confirmation bias. So I think having those factors, understanding what you're investing in, having valuation metrics, tracking quarterly or monthly or whatever it is, and having those discussions along the way with informed investors and challenging each other. It's a great formula for small cap investing, and hopefully then you can get those sort of 10 times returns and those bigger returns that we all covet and some have made an experience. In terms of companies today, very quick updates because many of these issues warrant separate discussions. So Vulcan Energy Resources, I'll start with that. I think a great quarterly update, strong cash balance, progressing with their lithium extraction optimization plant, and yeah, momentarily I have to keep remember what I'm saying because I try to do these things without cutting. And they've gone into their fourth agreement, I believe, with Stellantis. And next 6 to 9 months, we're really looking forward to closing discussions on financing. So I think all of those factors are fantastic, going according to plan. My view is Vulcan Energy Resources has, I wouldn't say undervalued, because who am I compared to the market in totality, but I would say there is significant upside to be had. Let's say that way. I'll also quickly update on MINBOS Resources. It seems things continue to go. You know, we're waiting for that phosphate project. I did say in the previous sessions that I wanted to go in depth into MINBOS, which I still want to, but they did release a news flow recently that they have been given, I understand, land access for their green ammonia project. Okay, so let me just quickly, MINBOS Resources, it has a phosphate project, it has a green ammonia project, phosphate one for the fertilizer, and there's also something else to do with phosphorus and LFP batteries. We'll go into this separately, but in my view of all of the investments that I'm in, when I look at the potential upside in MINBOS Resources, it's huge. I mean, it really is. So, but we're keen on focusing on watching the first project come to fruition. Nevertheless, it has amazing projects in the pipeline with significant development level progress already being made, and we will go into those into more depth at a later stage. I have many more investments, but I'm trying to just focus on a few and track them, and that really is to be a bit more detailed, watch their performance, and only throw information out that's manageable. However, I'll move on to another one of my investments soon, which I believe has great potential, great tailwinds or headwinds, whichever one you use. Sometimes I get confused with sailing terminology, and that's Euromanganese. So I'll just say it, but we'll go into more depth in another session. All right, wish you a great weekend. Wish everyone great health, peace, safety for your families, and let's all strive to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.